everybody to a very special episode of History Lessons. Today, my special guest is the one and only, the legendary YZ. We're here to talk about his new project and other avenues outside of music. But before we do that, how's everything going for you, YZ?
All is well, Sin-seer, man. All is well. How about yourself?
Blessed, man, blessed. Today I am with a legend, so you know, not too much can really be, special in my life. But today talking to you, that's always a highlight.
Man, the feeling's mutual, brother. Feeling's mutual.
No doubt. So how you been leading up to this project?
Uh, you talking specifically project, or you talking about regular life?
Just regular life. Sometimes we
Oh
get
man, I've been great, man. I'm getting this company off the ground, like so it's been a grind, but I love it though. I love doing things independently, and it's been working for us. So I don't mind getting my hands dirty. You know that already. So
yeah, yeah, definitely. You
yeah.
just new project. Talk about how you came up with the title and the meaning behind Moorganic.
Well, the album is called Moorganic, and the Moor part of that is a tribute to the Moors, which you know that's our foundation. All of us. Um, it's kind of sad that in the European history books they really try to downplay the Moors quite a bit. Um, but they do that to the Jews too. They downplay the Jews. So um, it's no surprise that I don't, downplay the Moors. Organic is a combination of that and organically developing a project that I feel is seeded from that legacy.
Mm.
At least that's what my purpose was, or my idea moving forward with it. It turned out to be a lot harder, not harder to do, but like I was really hoping to bring science and math to a great degree, and then I decided that I wanted it to hit home. Like I wanted people to be able to relate, and so the subject matter was very topical and typical to what's happening out here in the world today. So it's a very quick listen too. It's only 30 minutes long, and I wanted it to be that way too. Since I wanted it to be uh, something that you can push play and get through the whole album, because most hip hop albums, it's hard for me to do that,
Right.
and it's been that way for a little while. I mean, there's still some that I can do it, but I have to dive back into the books, the Illmatics of the world, the 3 Feet High and Risings, the Midnight Marauders and stuff like that. I gotta go back to be able to do it. But there's so many projects that I can't get through, and I didn't want my project to be like that.
Right. Uh,
Yeah.
what was different about your creative process this time compared to your previous work?
Actually, it's always the same. A lot of the tracks I've had for years. I, um, I bought a bunch of tracks from Ninth Wonder some time ago, and I just sat on them. I sat on them not because I didn't, want to do a project, but like I said, it has to be organic. It has to be more organic.
Right.
um, and so I started on a project some time ago, and then I decided not to. It wasn't time, and then I just decided to, focus on the company, the beverage company, and then when I got back to it, Daddy-O, he's always in my ear like, oh, you can't be relevant unless you're putting stuff out. You can't you can't be relevant. You can't scream. And he talking about me specifically. He was just saying in general. He's like, you got people screaming and screaming about what isn't happening in the game, but they're not a part of the game. And so this being my fifth album, I just wanted it to be, because five, is a great number. It's power refinement, and
Right.
you know, I wanted to make sure that it was good. I wanted to make sure that it was powerful and refined, and it turned out to be just that. I'm happy with it. My process though was pretty much the same. I just got a bunch of tracks that I wanted to use. I decided that, hey, these are the tracks that I'm going to use, but I don't write until I go to the studio.
Mm,
I don't even think of concepts. But all of my albums, except for maybe The Legend of Floyd Jones, is like that. But I was really trying to, for that project, the Floyd Jones album, that wasn't really about me. That was about Pee Wee Kirkland. So, I wanted to make sure that it was right. But for my projects, I always wait the day of to go to the studio. I may go an hour early, and I'll pin something in front of the studio while I wait for them to open, or yeah, I'll write everything right there. But I know what I want. I know what I want. So I just follow suit. And then I had a really good, I want to say co-producer, for the whole project. His friend Lover. He was excellent. Um, my ears are real bad, so he played a real part, a real uh, crucial part on saying that sounded good. No, we need to do that again. You know, um, that's on point right there. Yo, that's really hot right there. I'm not feeling that. Yo, I'm not mad at that hook right there at all. And it just helped me along really well. Like, I mean, and I owe him a great uh, debt of gratitude for being there. And I plan on having him, because I've already started working on another project already, the sixth album. And so, um, Fran is going to be a part of the process until I stop making projects now.
right. Your lyrics have always carried weight. Were there specific messages that you wanted to convey with this album?
Um, it's funny. I would say yes, but I think that everything that comes out of my mouth when it comes to music, I find to be very, messagey, messagey. It's I don't necessarily know that I do that on purpose, but I just think that there's so much going on in the world, Sin-seer, that it's hard to not talk about what's happening all around you. It's hard to not, and you want to do it in a way, or at least I want to do it in a way, or wanted to do it in a way where um, I touched home without having to kick people in the head, because I think that sometimes we just get overbearing, and I didn't want it to be that. I want it to be so I can listen to it. I recorded that project in 2024, um, and I held on to it. I could have put it right out, but I held on to it because I just felt like it wasn't time to put it out. I didn't have the artwork for the album done. I had a bunch of rough mixes and stuff, and I just took my time with it. And then next thing you know, everybody started putting out projects, and I'm like, damn, I could have, But I'm glad that I'm coming now rather than then. It feels right now. It feels like this is a good time um, for the return. Um, I'm happy with it. And think about this. This is the only project that I actually listened to for close to a year, and I was trying to see if I was going to get sick of it. I was trying to see if I was going to be able to stomach this album. And man, I could listen to this album every day for the rest of my life. It reminds me of one of those classic. And I'm not saying this because it's me, because you know how I am. I'm real critical about my own stuff.
Right.
Um, but it's one of those albums that I can listen to and listen to and listen to and listen. And I've been trying to hate it, and I can't find reason to hate it.
Right. How does this album reflect where you are in your life personally and artistically?
I think it's a great reflection of how I feel about things. I don't necessarily. I mean, like there's a song in there called "Don't Be Afraid." It's about my daughter and my wife, and all the other women that have touched my life. And I miss those kind of songs, man. Like usually nowadays, man, you hear songs about women and it's trash. They trashing the girl, or the girl's trashing the guy. And no disrespect to whatever they're doing, that's them. I'm cool with all that. But I'm just saying, for me, I wanted to pay homage to the, I wanted to pay homage to the great people in my life, and so I think it's a good reflection on a very close reflection on how I feel and some of the things that am experiencing. I talk about, um, you know, even I talk about. So I don't mention I don't mention my products, but I mentioned in one song about how I want to distribute and manufacture goods in many states, and that's where I am. That's my life. But that's been my life for the past 5 years now,
Right.
and you know, and so I put little seeds out there, but I don't think I'm overbearing. I don't think that it's I'm so blatant that because I think that hip hop should be something that you could dive into and swim around it a little bit and miss something here and there. That was the great thing about hip hop. Like I could always go back and hear what I missed. I miss those days, man. And
Right.
so I figured I would try to bring some of that back.
Right. You talked a little bit about getting beats from Ninth Wonder. Who are some of the other producers on this album?
Um, DJ Payne One is another one. Fran Lover is another one. And Mr. Enoch is another one right here from Atlanta. And I had actually produced a few of the songs myself, and then I decided to save them for the next project.
Mm.
Because I wanted to really just jump into the artistry, the rap side of it, the storytelling side of it, and so I left my tracks out of this particular project.
Okay. I know Ninth Wonder is a golden era historian. Any reaction after hearing you on some of his tracks? Any feedback, conversations you guys had?
Oh, with Ninth?
Yes.
No, I haven't even. No, I haven't talked to him. I haven't called him. I haven't even told him that I put the project out. I've tagged him in a few, tagged him in a few posts. But other than that, I figured, and I really don't want to make make an issue out of the Ninth Beats, but I will share a small story, and I'll try to be light about it. I told you I bought these tracks from Ninth some time ago, um, and I just held on to them. I just held on to them. I didn't know why I held on to them, but I just think if I buy a 1969 vintage vehicle and put it in my garage, and I don't want to drive it for the next 5 or 10 or 20 years, it's my prerogative to do so. They're paid for, I do it, and I'll leave it at that. And
Right.
so, um, it wasn't like I was looking to use the Ninth Wonder name, even like I could have put him out and didn't say anything. Um, but I had to give him credit for it, with what he contributed. I just think that that's only fair to do so. Um, remember, I have 6 tracks from him. I only used 3 on this album, so I have 3 other tracks that I still can use for future projects. I don't know if I'll use them on this next album, but they'll be there whenever I'm ready to do it. Um, I'm curious as to what Ninth is going to say, because I know that he knows that it's out, because the circle's too small.
Right.
Um, I don't think Ninth thought that it was going to sound as good.
Mm.
I think maybe he thought when I did it, when I bought him, it would have been better, but it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been as meaningful as coming out with it right now.
Right.
And I'm hoping that somewhere along the lines, that that resonates with him.
Right.
You know, you got to do it when it's in your spirit to do so, and not a second before.
Right. Any other reactions from those other producers?
Yeah, man. Everybody's really feeling the album, bro. It's funny, man. Prince Paul even hit me, and he was just like, "Yo, this is dope." And you know, you asked me about those albums that I could listen to and go straight through. And Prince Paul is one of those producers that I could listen to time in and time out. And so to get feedback like that, Chuck D loves the project. Red Alert has the project, loves the project. Mike G has the project. Dana Dane sent me a message today, like, yo, because they're not expecting it. Hey, I wanted to, I don't want to get loud. I want to keep my voice down. But you sent me a quote, and I wanted to actually get your permission to use your quote. The quote you sent me, yo, it was phenomenal, bro. It was phenomenal. But realize everybody that has listened to the album has had a similar uh, word to say about it. And
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It was real unexpected. Um, and so, but I'm happy about it, bro. And I'm trying to figure out a way to gradually push it in people's faces, because when I first did it, my idea was just to come out with vinyl. I wasn't even gonna put it on streaming uh, platforms at all. And I still stayed to that, except that now I'm allowing people to listen to it, or purchase or stream it on Bandcamp.
Mm.
And that was, only because it's more personal. And then they don't take your money.
Right.
They don't take your money. Not that I was in it for the bread, but it cost me a bit of bread to get this project done. I'd like to at least make that money back.
Right.
So I know, people are in business to lose money. I'm not.
Right. Any guest features on this project?
Just one on the hook, Rosewood. And the reason Rosewood is on it is because when I bought the beats from Ninth Wonder, Rose was in the car. He rapped to the six beats that I bought. He rapped to those beats for 45 minutes straight, off the top of his head. And I told Ninth, I said, everything that he just rapped to, I'm gonna buy that. So he's the only person that's on the project. Um, there are some singers. There are some singers on the project, but there are no other rappers except for Rosewood, and Rosewood is only on the hook, and he's a phenomenal MC. But when he heard the record, he was like, "Bro, you got to put me on the hook. You got to put me on the hook to this record. I got to pay homage to you." And I was just like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Yeah, I want to pay homage to you on this record." And I was like, "Well, whatever you want to do, bro, do it."
Right. I got the tracks here. If you don't mind, kind of go through one by one, and you can
Yeah,
kind of your thought process and
absolutely.
fun facts behind each track. Um, Unpack.
Pat is Ninth Wonder. Um, I start off the album by saying that I'm the greatest MC in the world, and I said it as a joke, but seriously, like I laughed at myself saying it, but it reminds me of saying there's no greater person than myself when it comes to this rap shit, you know, and I only said it because I think everyone's approach to rap should be different. It should be unique. It should be their own. It should be something that says them. And so I was trying to prepare the audience for some excitement and fun and some seriousness all at the same time.
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi is Fran Lover. Now, Gaddafi starts off um, almost like a freestyle rap when you listen to the first verse, but it touches little things in and out, and then it gets really serious. Because that's what revolution is. It's everything is here on the surface, right? And then before you know it, it's time to change. And that's what that record is supposed to represent. The revolution. Gaddafi was the revolution. The sad part about it is most most powers that be weren't ready for that revolution. Um, but to me, Gaddafi is a hero. I love him. I respect him. I love what he stood for. I love what he tried to do for us as I don't even want to use Moorish Americans. I love that. He is a liberator, and I think that that's what I represent. The liberation of the music, the liberation of the people.
Push.
Push. I want to push as the first single. That's Ninth Wonder as well. Push to me, it grew on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't start out as being this record that just stood out in my head. But as I listened to it for months on end, I was like, yo, this record really is dope. Like, I mean, yo, and Ninth always, back when I bought it, he was really into the chops, and so you got this voice, and in my mind, all I could hear was a mother saying to a boy, you got to beat the rush, you got to push for time, you got to get out there and you got to do it. And I was like thinking, yo, that's exactly what we need. Now, when I recorded it, when I did the beat, I mean, when I rocked to the beat, I wasn't really thinking like that. But after listening to it and listening to it, I was like, yo, this is the theme song right here. I love Push. I love it. And it just so happens that it's a Ninth Wonder beat. It wasn't that Ninth did the track. And I was like thinking, yo, let's just, as a matter of fact, if you ask anybody that was around, and I didn't even want to use Ninth as a single, but I guess you can't stop what's supposed to be, and it just feels so good. I don't know if you got a chance to really listen to that record,
Oh
but
yes.
but that record is to me is hip hop personified, bro, for real. Like it reminds me, and I hate when people say, yo, that just reminds me of 90s hip hop. Nah, it just reminds me of good, raw hip hop.
Right.
And that's what I like about it. And then when you think about the hook is more just like hip hop is, like, that braggadocio, like I'm the best and you better get ready. But the rhymes aren't talking about being the best at all. The rhymes are very, very contradictory to the hook. And to me, I just love it for that very reason.
Right. Price on your head.
Price on Your Head is DJ Payne 1. And Price on Your Head has three verses. And the reason it has three verses is because after I did the first two, Fran was like, yo, I need more, bro. You gotta put another verse on this record. It's too hot. Like you gotta put another verse to this. I'm fiend. Like he was, and Fran is like that. Like, and he is no pushover. Like he was just like, yo, you gotta put another verse on here. And it's three different stories. Basically, it's just what it says. Don't go to bed with a price on your head. Don't go to sleep with issues that aren't dealt with. Solve them. Get to it. Solve the problems, because if you don't solve them, you're going to wake up to those same issues every day, and what you're going to notice is they're going to keep piling up. And so that's what that record is really about. It's three different stories. It talks about a guy who lives in a neighborhood who is a shyster. He's a shyster, and he lives next to this guy, and he's a pedophile, and he's peeping out. he's peeping out that the guy and his wife next door has this little daughter, and he wants to kidnap this girl. He wants to probably sell her into the sex trafficking world. But little does he realize that her parents are no joke. Like, fathers don't play that shit, not real fathers. And so I'm saying to this man, listen, are you sure this is the route you want to take? Because that man is he's peeping you out. He's checking you out. He knows that you got your eye on his daughter, and if you keep fucking with his family, he's gonna come after you, bro. He's gonna, and so that's that. The next one is about the next story, and that is about, um, and I wanted to be kind of, I don't want to be overbearing with this, but it's about a woman who basically takes advantage of a guy. She basically he does everything for her. She has a child. He's raising the child. He's doing everything in his power to try to keep this woman happy, but she can't find happiness in it, and she goes outside of that relationship to try to find happiness. But the truth is, you can't find happiness if you're not already happy. And so that's what that is, that one. And then the last one is about a young boy who grows up around a drug dealer, and he wants to be just like him. He wants to be exactly like him. And so he keeps pestering this hustler to get into the game. And so after being pestered for so long, his friend allows him to do little jobs. And then after he gets used to doing these little jobs, the friend gets arrested, just like people in the drug game will do. And now he's forced to take over this man's job. But now the ops, he didn't realize the ops are out there, and now they're after him. The feds are after him. And the guy who is in the feds now warned him, said, yo, if you get into this, this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be. And yo, it's a good story, bro. It's a really good story. And the funny thing is, it touches real close to home. I don't want to get all into it, but it touches real close to home.
Right. Commas.
Commas is the sleeper. Commas talks about, Commas first off starts with a singing hook. This brother right out of Atlanta. And DJ Payne One produced it. Um, it talks about how everybody out there is flashy. They're talking about the bag. Everybody out there is talking about all these superficial things that don't have anything to do with anything. And while they're doing that, I'm on my grind. You get me? While they're doing that, I'm out here pushing and making things happen for my family and making things happen for my future. And it talks about how we put our efforts into doing things, and then I don't want to be this person that's putting all this effort into doing something and wasting my time and wasting my money and my energy to work just to give it back, work just for them to come and take it away, because that's what's happened to our people. We work just to be broke on Monday. We get paid on Friday just to be broke on Monday. Yo, we have to get out of that mindset, bro. And
Right.
so Commerce is talking about ways to uplift yourself so you can uplift your family and then go on to uplift your community. That's exactly what that story is. And it's the sleeper. To be quite frank with you, I think it's the best record on the album. But I don't know if people are ready for it. I hope they are.
For sure. Uh, blood in my veins.
Okay, Blood in My Veins. That's Ninth Wonder again, and then that's Rosewood on the hook. That was the first one that was recorded. Um, After he did the hook, I don't remember if I recorded the verse first or or if he recorded the hook. I probably recorded the verse, at least the first verse first, and then he was like, "I want to pay homage," and he went in there and did it, and I was like, "Yo, good look, thank you." Uh, but the hook says, "With the blood in my veins, I write the truth, how it needed to be told," and he was saying that that's how he thinks I write. Like I write, like I took a knife and took the blood and put it in a pen and wrote the song. And I love this brother's mind, man, because I'm like thinking that's how we all should be writing. We should all be writing with that same intensity because if we had more records and with purpose and with that same intensity, man, we would be in a better situation right now. I think that's probably why they tried to destroy the music. Real stuff. I hate to say it out loud, but I get it, man. Can you imagine like if there were like if everybody that put out music right now was PE
Yeah.
for the past 30 years, yo, they would be in trouble.
Right. Actual facts.
That's DJ Payne one. Um, Actual facts is it's like an ode to the DJ rapper record. It talks about the issues, but the vibe of it is very I hate to say this out loud, but it's very DJ Premiere-ish of the way the hooks sound to me, and not to say that it sounds like a Premiere beat, but it just just reminds me of that scratch hip hop era, and I think it's fun for that very reason. I think the verses are they kind of speak for themselves. I don't want to kind of kill all the stories because I want people to still listen to it. But actual facts is just that. It talks about things that are actual, things that you can touch, things that you can deal with in a way that hey that's actually happening real time. That's happening right now, and you can act like you don't see it, but it's actually happening right before you right now. And so but the way the hook is, it kind of makes light of those things. You understand?
Right.
Yeah. So
Don't be afraid.
I think I told that story already. Don't be afraid is an ode to my daughter and my wife. The first verse is about my daughter. The second one is about my wife. Um, and in today's society, man, where unity between the Moorish, the melanated people is at question. Um, I just think it's needed. It's my love song. It's uh it's my just like Rosewood said, hey, I want to pay homage to you for what you've done for me. I wanted to pay homage to them for the things that they represent for me. Is everything all hunky dory all the time or peachy keen all the time? No, absolutely not. I don't expect life to be that way. Um, but it doesn't change how I feel about them. And I just think that we need to be, or at least I wish we could be, as a community, more in touch with that feeling of needing each other and respecting each other and wanting each other. And even though the media is pushing these agendas, don't be afraid because no matter what happens, I'm gonna be here for you. I'm gonna be right here. So you can do what it is you're gonna do. You can represent what it is that you're gonna represent, but don't be afraid
Mm.
because in the end, I'm gonna be right here.
Right. Endure.
Endure is okay. So the hook, I wrote the hook and sang the hook, and then we added a female voice because I'm not a singer. Oh, I used to be able to sing, but I can't hear now. So, but we added a singer, and she just enhanced it so much to make it. She, you know, sonically trained. She's professionally trained and technically trained and all of these things. And she just, yeah, I wanted to endure. If you listen to the hook, like it's almost playing with you because it's saying go this way, but go that way. Go this way. If you listen to it, that's what it sounds like. But all of it makes sense. It's saying, hey, you know, do this, but do this also. That's what it's actually saying. Even though it sounds like it's going in opposite directions, it's not. It's saying, hey, if you're moving forward, be careful as you go. Keep moving and endure and find your way to the end of that of what you're trying to that you're looking for. That, don't get on that journey and stop, because what happens is I think so many people we stop midway, and little do we know we could be right at the cusp of the success, and we turned away from it. And I'm saying, hey, don't do that. Endure, get past that, because if you follow suit, you'll find your way.
And finally, draw the line.
Okay, draw the line is Mr. Enoch. I recorded that song at his house, and I recorded a couple of songs with him, but that particular one to me just stood out. Um, I wrote it right there in his studio, and after I took it out of his studio and put the demo in my car, I was like, yo, this sounds really, really good. I like this. He gave me a rough mix of it. Believe it or not, bro. I took that rough mix and put it up. When we got to mixing and mastering the song, I put it up and had it remastered and everything. And it ended up being a promo for me. I sent it out to this guy to do a animated video for it. And after I saw the video, I was like, yo, this is tight. I like this. I like this. I like where this is going. Um, it may feel a little dark, but it really isn't. It's saying, like, where do you draw the line? Like, if you listen to the hook, it's like you can be anything. You can be anything you portray nowadays. It don't matter who you are, but what you say you are. But where do you draw the line? Think about that. Like, when do you say enough is enough? When do you draw the line and say, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute? I mean, I know to each his own, but where do you draw the line? When is it okay to say, hey, that's not okay? That's not okay. And I could get very specific in what I'm talking about, but I know you know what I'm talking about, just like I know the people that will hear this or know what I'm talking about. When
Right.
do we say enough is enough? Because yo, we've had it up to here, bro,
Right.
and it has to come to a point where we have to stand up and be very specific that I'm not passing this line. If you want to be on that side of the line, fine, but realize this: I'm not coming over there with you. Please don't try to drag me over there with you, because if you try to drag me over there with you, now we're at odds now. And so that's what that is.
Right. What do you want your fans, old and new, to take away from this project?
I want them to understand and take away, I want them to understand first that as life uh, goes on, it enhances. And if you allow it to, it will allow you to become something greater. It will enhance your arts. It will enhance the way you see things. It will enhance your outlook on life. Um, it will enhance the decisions that you make. And I'm hoping that if they take anything away from this album, that they can listen to it and realize that if if I can do this, at this stage in my life, even though I'm bogged down every day doing this every single day, and still come out with a project. I think if I wasn't doing things like that, brother Sincere, this album wouldn't even sound the same.
Mm.
It, those products made this made me like I'll say this. I'll say this. I know how I'm explaining it. It took love and understanding and a sharp idea to come to mind to turn this and those things into fruition. You get me? It wasn't by chance. It wasn't by chance. It took some doing. It wasn't like, hey, I want to do that. Oh, all right. Well, now I want to do that. No, it was, I want to do this, and I'm going to keep doing what I got to do until it's done. I'm hoping that they listen to this album and get the same spirit that it was given. It took me a minute to get it to them, but it was to me well worth the wait. This was well worth the wait. These things are well worth the wait. Bro, we got 13 different products being sold. Think about that, bro. There's no other rapper with a beverage company, but with their own alkaline spring water. Come on, bro.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from? It's like I'm hoping that people can get the idea that there are ways to make drug money without drugs.
Mm.
There is a way to get wealthy without hurting other people to do so. And no disrespect to nobody else, because I know they're gonna say everything here is organic and healthy. I'm not into selling my people death. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that for a living. I want to be able to sleep at night. I want my daughter to be able to sleep at night. I want my wife to be able to sleep at night. I want my son to be able to sleep at night. So my conscience has to be clear in my movement. When I was younger, I moved when I wanted to move, how I wanted to move. It didn't matter what it. Now I don't have the luxury of doing that anymore. I have to be very precise. And even if it takes umpteen years to come out with it, when I give you the product, understand it's gonna be the best dope you ever had. Ask Prince Paul.
Right.
That was his expression. He was like, yo, dope. I could show it to you. It's just like, yo, and you don't even understand. I felt like the greatest dope dealer in the world. You understand where I'm coming from, Sincere?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I just want people to understand that, and this is no play on your words, that I was real sincere in the giving of this project. And I just hope that it's received in that same uh with that same expression, with that same idea. Because I think if you open yourself to it and give yourself, and I made it easy to listen to. I didn't make you a hour and two hour long, filled with features album. I gave you a 30-minute album that before you even know it, it's over. And
Very
you listening to it again and again and again. And I know because it happened to me.
right. Very
It
dig-
happened to me.
very
Say again,
dig-
say again, brother.
very digestible.
Very digestible. That's a good way to describe it. Yes. Your quote though, bro, was one of the greatest. And yeah, I still, again, I want to be able to use that quote. I almost wish that I could have, if I had that quote beforehand, I would have put it on the album. I mean, because I know how you are, bro. You're a true historian. You know the music, you know the artist. It's not like you, so you didn't owe me anything to give me this quote,
Mm. Right.
but it told me that you were being honest about how you felt about it. And see, eh, people don't even understand. That's why I do music. That's why I could tell Ninth. That's why I didn't do it then. I did it now because this is when it was supposed to happen, not then.
Right.
So
So far, what has the general public's reception been like?
man, it's been love, bro. It's been love. It's been like I'm going to do Willie D. I'm going to Ghana on Thursday. I'll be back in 10 days. The day after I get back, I fly to Houston to go do Willie D. And so what I'm saying to you is and that's no disrespect to you. I hope you love Willie D like I love Willie D.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love what he's doing. I love what he stands for. Um, but for Willie D to invite me on his show,
Can't pass it up.
I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, man.
It
I'm
speaks for itself.
looking forward to that episode.
Yeah, and I was thinking I'd darken up for it, but nah. No, but I notice I look at some of the guys, man, when they go on TV and stuff, they darken it up a little bit.
Yeah,
And I don't know, I think wisdom is needed though. Like I think maybe I should just chill and just
embrace it.
embrace. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. You don't even understand. I'm trying. I even trimmed it down a little bit just for you today. I was just like, because my beard was way down here. It was
Oh, for sure.
big. I think it was just way too big.
Yeah. Now, what are your plans for this particular project? Any physical copies? You mentioned.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just vinyl. To be honest with you, a few people have asked me about doing some cassettes, and I was like, what, cassettes? Like that kind of threw me a little bit. Like, I mean, I guess they must be back somehow. So I may do a very limited run of cassettes. I don't know if I should do CDs. Would you think I should do some CDs too? Because they're very easy to do nowadays. But who buys CDs?
Right, right. There's still, people out there collecting. So, you got to touch a little bit, like you said, maybe not an abundance, but just a limited run, 10 each, 20 each.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Just a few.
Right.
Um, but the vinyl though has been shocking though. Uh, what I did was I did four different runs with four different types of vinyl. One is a Coke bottle green, uh, transparent. One is a picture disc. So they're all different. And so far, man, it's almost hard to keep them. I mean, because people they ordering, and I'm like, I put the orders in as they come. Like I try not to get too, because I go out and buy like 10,000 records, and I'll be sitting on 9,000 of
Right.
them.
For the supporters who are watching this, where is that project available at?
Oh, right now you can go to well, I tell you what, there's a couple of things that you can do. On Instagram, I am YZ, um, and my at is the Black Bank, at the Black Bank. For anybody who's ever reached out to me, and because I'm a real, you know me already. I mean, I'm real free giving with stuff. Um, if they just contact me, I'll make sure that they get something. Because I'm in the business of service,
Mm.
and I think that that's what we're here for. We're here to serve others. So, but you can go to uh, bandcamp.com /album /Moorganic, Moorganic, and I'll come up. And as merch is available, it's on there. But if you have any requests, you can put it on there too, because if you need it or want it, I'll make sure you have it. I even have a couple of dolls being made too. I don't know if I want to keep them for myself or put them up for auction. I don't know. One looks like the Return of the Holy One era, and then one looks like now. And I don't know, man. I just think that like you, I guess I'm speaking to the right person because you're a true collector, bro. Like one day I would love to go through your library, bro. I'm surprised you don't have like a museum of some sort, because you
Right.
have everything from everybody. Like, and I don't know how you obtained all this stuff, but you do. You have it.
Yeah, you know you're always welcome out here, man. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I appreciate that. And Mikasa Sukasa,
absolutely.
I'm going to Ghana now to solidify some deals out there. My partner and I, um, we're buying land and building homes out there. So
Oh,
that's So like I said, you can make dope money without you can make dope money just by being dope.
right,
You don't have to sell dope to be a dope dealer.
right. Which leads me to my last question. You showed a few products throughout this interview. Talk a little bit about your, outside endeavors, outside of music.
Well, okay, so I, uh, uh, it's funny. The guy who I was just talking about in Ghana, he's an old friend of mine. We grew up together. I've known him since we were 14. My business partner with the beverages is married to his sister. He introduced me to him because he knew I was already doing beverages and his brother-in-law was doing beverages. So we connected and did a company called GIB, which is Georgia Independent Beverages. Georgia Independent Beverages has 13 different products that we have. We do sodas, we do teas, we do lemonades, we do jellies, we do chutneys, we do also um, cold pressed juices, we do cold pressed juice lemonades, we do smoothies, we do water both flat and we also do sparkling. We do when it comes to beverages, we do it, and I'm always creating different products every day. I also do CMOS teas, I do CMOS gels, I do a bunch of stuff, bro. And the response to my products have been, I hate to even feel like I'm getting emotional about it, but the response has been overwhelmingly joyful to watch little kids love your man. They'll drink my stuff and start. I mean, I'm talking about you have a fussy kid crying, and he'll drink my stuff and be quiet and start. Man, it's just amazing to see, bro. It always reminds me of Sal from Do the Right Thing when he said, "Hey, these people grew up on my stuff. They grew up on my food, and there are people right now growing up on my products, brother. And not only are they growing up on the products, I make every product myself with love. I do everything that goes in these bottles. Even these cans, I put it in there myself. You get me? And
Right.
so, a lot of people say, yeah, well, I can just get this manufacturer. No, we have a 77-acre farm. We grow our own hibiscus. We're from farm to table. Not only do we grow our products, but we manufacture and distribute those products ourselves. That's what's missing from our community.
Mm,
That self-sufficiency that we once were, it has to come back at some point. We have to be self-sufficient. We have to be independent and get away from the machine. And so, how do you do that? You create your own machine.
right.
And so, um, I can't express to you enough how amazing it feels to have so much trust from the public. Like these products in the airport in Atlanta.
Mm,
Come on. So think about that. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people pass my products every day. I get orders from the airport every week. And so somebody in that airport trusts and believe in my product, something that my blood, sweat, and tears went into. Man, You know, music don't even compare, bro.
Right.
But this helped me to see music in a different way. It helped me to understand what music really should represent.
Mm.
Where before this, come on, I've been independent since I was 16. I've been my own business person since I was 16.
Right.
But the businesses that I chose were, just duplicates of other things, of other people. This is my own lane. We finally have figured out a way to create a lane. Bro, can you imagine now? We are building a commodity based business. I ain't talking about these products, I'm talking about the commodity that goes in it.
Mm.
We're growing that commodity here in Georgia.
Wow.
Think about that. And
For sure.
see, people see they can look at me and they can see what they want to see. That's fine. Because I'm not here to impress people. What I am here to do is impress upon you to see that if little old YZ can do it, guess what? All you have to do is, and if you need my help, if you need, there's nothing wrong with getting a mentor. I tell people all the time, look, it's hard to do stuff without having somebody who's been there, who's done that, and you're trying to figure it out, and you ain't looking for that kind of help.
Right.
I mean, how are you gonna figure it out if you don't take it from somebody who's done it?
Right.
You know, that's like me trying to ask, you know, somebody to. I want to come out with a Nas album, but something that's touching like his Illmatic, but you don't get to the artist and talk to him about how it worked for him. Not that you have to duplicate his words and his energy, but help him to, I mean, go to him to help you find the energy that's in you. And that's what I'm hoping that not only these products do, uh, but I'm pray that that's what Moorganic represents for people. And I don't know what this next album is going to be called, but I want to outdo this project by tenfold, man. I
Right.
I, I want to. I don't ever want to go backwards again. And if I make a project and it feels like it's backwards, I hate to say this, well, it'll never make the light of day.
Right. For all those supporters that heard about those products, where can they find those at?
You can go to Hibiscus Heaven. Um, I don't know if you can. Can you see that QR code there?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you can scan that QR code right there, and it'll take you right there.
Maybe
Same thing with.
put it up a little closer.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me move this out the way.
There you go.
You can go find it. My product's there. Water Party is its own thing. You can go to waterparty.co, and if you want to get water, you can go to prideroad.com. And any if you want to get any of those hibiscus products that I mentioned, the jellies, the chutneys, the sodas, the teas, I'll show you what that looks like. This is just a unsweetened tea. Uh, but this is an unsweetened tea. It's Pride Road. Um, but we do, and all of the Pride Road products are in glass because they're pasteurized. But this hibiscus is grown on my partner's farm.
Mm.
And, bro, we ain't taking no prisoners, bro.
I see.
Yeah, we ain't taking no prisoners. And the funny thing is, I don't, most of the time, I ain't out here talking about nothing. I just do it. I'm working every day. I ain't afraid to get my hands dirty. I ain't afraid to get out here and do what I got to do. And while people are talking about it, my friend Jay Knapp in Houston, he's like, yo, every time I call you, you in the kitchen. I'm like, where you at? In the kitchen? Because he's another one. He's in Houston, and he has a company called the Reggae Bodega right there on Alameda in Houston. And bruh, If you walk in the store, it's products everywhere. And he's been in business for 26 years.
Mm.
Everywhere. And he makes all that stuff himself. You get me? And so, bruh, it's like we don't have any more time, and we can't continue to keep making excuses
Right.
because the world's a big place. You don't have to sell liquor to get rich. You don't have to sell marijuana to get rich. I mean, and then the funny thing is, you know, you can create a liquor brand or you can go get a liquor store, but the truth is, somebody got they almost have a monopoly on that game because they gave it away to some folks that came in from other countries, and just like they did with the chevrons, you know, they gave certain businesses away along with subsidies to do it right in your neighborhood. Hint, hint. But so you got to just look outside the box sometimes, bro. You gotta, you know, because the box is very small. The world and everything outside of that box is very vast. And all you got to do is take a look outside of that box, and your dream is sitting there waiting on you to just come claim it. That's it.
Right.
Just come claim it.
Uh, Very good wisdom from the one and only YZ.
Well, I hate that when I talk, it always has to be like you always bring out like these emotions in me, and I'm like, I really was hoping that this was just a real calm conversation, but it's hard to be calm when I'm so passionate about what I do. I'm so passionate about, I love what I do. I love what I do. And
That's important.
it's more than important, man. It's the legacy that you leave behind. Those smiles, that trust. It's like it's unbeatable.
Right.
It's unbeatable. It's uncomparable.
Absolutely. That I want to thank you so much for bringing your wisdom and your products and good conversation to this platform this afternoon. The new project Moorganic is out now. Make sure you guys pick that up. Reach out to YZ if you want physical copies. And in the future,
T-shirts too. We got T-shirts. We got yeah. If you want a T-shirt, you know all that stuff is available. Even if you got ideas about merch, think about it. I'm a manufacturer. I will make it. I will make it because I mean, there's nothing out here that can't be made.
right.
Nothing.
Before we get out of here, YZ, any last word for your supporters?
Just love each other, family. Just I really hope that you take that with the utmost sincerity. Um, we gotta love each other. It's enough hate, and if you have to look, but first off, I guess even before you even start there, maybe before you start your day, maybe you should get up, look in the mirror, and tell you that you love you. Because it's hard to love others if you can't love yourself. And if you don't get into the practice of loving yourself first, it's going to be a very, very hard uphill climb trying to figure out how to love somebody else.
Right.
So I think if I want to leave anything, and I'm not saying don't be of service. I'm saying understand that it takes a tribe, it takes a village, it takes a community, it takes a planet to be sustainable. It takes us together to be sustainable, or we can keep blowing shit up. We
Right.
can, we can keep acting up and keep acting out and thinking that's the way. But the truth is, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. And people are falling for the bullshit. And I hope that you can wake up and realize that, man, there's enough love out here. I mean, and it could be one person, one thing that sparked you, and believe me, once you leave that bullshit behind there, and smell how fresh the air is, you ain't never gonna want to go back there no more.
Right.
Not ever.
That's
Because you already know what that is back there. It's a bunch of bullshit back there. It's a bunch of stinky, smelly, funk, stinky bullshit back there. But
right.
here, the air is fresh. The air is pure. The air is fresh and pure. And I think that there you'll learn to love yourself, because it's easy to love yourself when you're free of the bullshit. People that bog down with money, 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 money. Everything is money, money, money. And I'm just thinking, like, if money is the root, you got a problem already. Service should be the root.
Right.
How you gonna, yeah, sir, be of service.
No doubt.
God didn't put us here by ourselves. Nature didn't put us here by ourselves. So be of service. How do
Right.
you expect to be served if you can't be of service?
Right.
So many people feel entitled, and they feel like oh, I'm gonna get it anyway. I'm gonna do. What would you have to do to get it though?
Right.
Yeah. How much soul did you get rid of?
Facts. No,
Anyway, bro, I hate to talk your ear off.
no, you great, man. Like I said, I thank you for the opportunity this afternoon to
Nah, bro. No, I appreciate you, brother. I thank you. You are the truth and the light, my brother. I mean, this is I needed this. And I wanted to start here. And so everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. I couldn't think of anyone else that I wanted to talk to right off the bat.
that feels
And
good.
yeah, nah, but bruh, no, I guess you do understand. You are like, bruh, we talk about history. Bruh, you're a journalist, a true historian of this culture of hip hop. And I think more people need to really, really grasp that.
Right.
Grasp the vastness of what that really, really means. Because so many of us, man, we've lost touch of what this culture really represents. And you haven't, by any means, by any stretch of the word.
Right.
If anything, you're a walking, breathing part and intricate vein of this culture. And I think a lot of us would be lost without you, bro.
And that makes me feel real good that you even acknowledged that, and I'll continue to do so, and have guests like yourself to continue to push on what you're doing, and anytime you want to come back, the door is always welcome. It's been a long time since I've seen you in person, so we're gonna have to make that happen.
Oh yeah, anytime, bro. I travel now, man. I'm
Yeah,
uh I'm finally I've been around the world twice. I've never been to Africa, and now I'm actually finally getting there.
that's dope.
Yeah, man, I can't wait, bro. I
Can't wait
can't wait.
to journey.
Say again?
We can't wait to hear about your journey.
Oh man, I can't wait to share that one. I
Yeah,
can't wait. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna share it with the world, but I'll definitely share it with some friends. You know what I'm saying? For sure, because I'm excited about this one, bro.
as you
And my
should.
and my partner that's inviting me, he's just like, bro, your world's about to change.
Wow,
And I say, that's what I need.
for
I,
sure.
I love change. Dana, Dana's in Africa now too.
Day to day,
Yeah.
didn't
And
know.
so think about this. He sent me a text today. He ain't here. I didn't tell him I was going to Africa because he's somewhere else. I'm going to Ghana. He doesn't live in Ghana. But I didn't even say, hey, I'm going to Africa, bro. Because I want to go first. I want to experience it first.
Right.
I'd be excited, and then I don't make it.
Yeah,
I want to get there and get back so I can talk to you about it.
for sure. Like I
Have
was,
you been? Have you been? Have you
I
been?
have not been yet.
Man, well, I hope I have good stories to tell you, so you have to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Like I said, make sure you keep me updated.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely, without question.
No doubt. That is the legendary YZ album Moorganic out now. I'm the Jones Sin-seer, and we'll see you guys again in the near future. Safe journeys, YZ.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
No doubt.